It's always a sad occasion when you're remembering the people that who have passed away and sacrificed their lives for others. My uncles were in the British Army. My granddad was in the British Army. One of my uncle lost his life during the war. I think it is a good thing that, the ceremony such as this one that we are holding here in Barbeacon is to remember those that have given their lives for us to be free in the world.
First of all, I'd like to welcome St Anne's Primary School and Blackwood Primary School and Lindens Primary School and Park Hall Primary School. Welcome to the Beacon this morning and well done for getting up here so quickly and so well.
Let us remember before God and commend to his keeping those who have died for their country in war, those whom we knew and whose memory we treasure, and all who have lived and died in the service of others. Now I'll invite the children and the representatives to lay their wreaths at the War Memorial.
Well, today we all gathered together for Remembrance Day to remember all those soldiers who had died in the war. It means quite a lot to me because I've had family that have been in wars, but not all of them have died and stuff. So it's been nice to remember them and just to remember all the soldiers there.
Remembrance is when you remember all those soldiers who have died in the war, First and Second World War, to save us, and without them saving in the war we wouldn't be here right now. All those soldiers that have survived the war, they're really lucky to survive with minor injuries, and I'm honoured to just be here with them.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. When you go home, tell them of us and say, for your tomorrow, we gave our today. In the First World War, Walsall raised 2 battalions, just Walsall itself, which is nearly 1,000 men of the 2 battalions, which fought in the First World War. I mean, there was lots, virtually every family knew somebody or had a relation that was wounded or killed in the First World War. So it's very important that it's never ever forgotten.
It's very important for our children to look back in history so that the same mistakes aren't made again, and so that they really do empathise with what happened, which is why it was so nice to have the veterans here, because they can realise that actually these wars didn't happen that long ago, because there are still people living today who actually fought in them. So it's extremely important, and the whole element of respect and unity is important for us.
They bring with them, not only in their own person, but all their memories and all their experience that they bring the reality of what's happened to not only the children but to all of us that are here.
In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks, still bravely singing, fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago, We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take our back quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw the torch, be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields.
John McCrae wrote this poem when he was a soldier in the First World War, fighting in the Flanders, Belgium. The day before he wrote the poem, he had witnessed his friend die and be buried in a grave marked only by a simple wooden cross. There were already poppies growing around the graves of those soldiers who had been killed. Poppies only grow in rooted-up soil, so the disturbed mud of the trenches was the perfect place for their seeds to germinate. John McCrae's poem explains how big the sacrifice the soldiers made was and how they should not be forgotten. Today we wear poppies to ensure we never forget them.
Today, I want to encourage you to wear your poppy also for peace, to remind you that every single one of us has a part to play in keeping peace in our world, in the country we live in the community that is ours here, in our schools and in our homes. But how can we do that? Well, first it's how we act towards one another, our families and friends, of course, but also, and perhaps most especially, it's how we act towards those who are different to us or whom we find it hard to get along with. Because I'm a Christian, I believe we're all made by God to love God. To show that we respect and care for other human beings is absolutely fundamental. As a sign of peace, we're now going to release our doves. And I invite you, as you see the doves go up, to make your own prayer in your own way for peace.
The mum of one of our ex-pupils has those doves, and every year she brings them for us, and every year it's a very poignant point in the service. The children love it, and it is that symbol of peace made real for them.
We pray together for unity, a united community, a united world. Lord, help us to remember that life is not all about ourselves, but that in order to live in peace and harmony, we need to remember others. We pray today for all the political, military and religious leaders in our world, that God will give them these gifts of wisdom and resolve in the search of reconciliation within countries and communities.
Hope lies in a child's heart, not yet turned to stone, mind free of prejudice, a child not alone. If all children of the world held each other's hand, we could do what they could not, make a brotherhood of man.
Remembrance is very important. We should never forget what people sacrificed on our behalf. Where we'd be today had they not done this, and we should never forget that fact.
The place was devastated with the theft of the metal and the vandalism, and now we're trying to reclaim it for the community. We've had a number of events, but this is the first remembrance event for many years. There's a lot of work gone in through local members, officers, the Heritage Lottery Fund and the community to make this a success and to make this happen for local people in Feasey Park Farm, in Streatley and for wider Walsall.
Today was a revelation with all the young children that are taking part. Absolutely tremendous.
Well, for me it's important to remember those that have died for us, to give us our freedom, but also to look forward and to pray for peace and pray for our part in making that peace.